kids, where are you? It's time for all the art to tell stories.
In the heart of the Sunfire Desert, where golden dunes stretched endlessly to the horizon, lived a young girl named Ava. She lived with her grandmother in a small oasis village known as Zephyr's Rest, a haven for travelers crossing the harsh desert. Ava's grandmother, Elder Sira, was known for her wisdom and her uncanny ability to sense the desert's moods. Ava, on the other hand, was an ordinary girl, or so she thought. While she loved listening to the stories her grandmother told about the wind spirits, she often dismissed them as mere myths. One evening, as Ava sat by the oasis, a strange gust of wind rustled through the palms. It carried an odd melody, soft and rhythmic, almost like a whisper. Curious, Ava stood and listened. "Hello," she called, feeling silly. The wind swirled around her, tugging at her hair and playfully lifting grains of sand. The next morning, Ava told her grandmother about the strange wind. Elder Sira's eyes sparkled. "The wind speaks to those who are willing to listen," Sira said. "Perhaps it's chosen you, Ava." Ava laughed nervously. "The wind doesn't choose anyone. It's just wind." But Sira only smiled knowingly. That day, Ava joined the villagers in preparing for the arrival of a caravan. Zephyr's Rest was a crucial stop for merchants and travelers, offering water, shade, and guidance through the treacherous desert. But as the sun set, the caravan had not arrived. Ava overheard the worried whispers of the villagers. As night fell, Ava wandered to the edge of the village, where the wind seemed to grow restless. It swirled around her, tugging at her shawl as if urging her forward. "Are you trying to tell me something?" Ava whispered. The wind picked up, dancing around her in a series of sharp gusts and gentle breezes. Determined to help the lost travelers, Ava gathered supplies and told her grandmother about her plan. "The wind is guiding me," Ava said. "I think I can find them." Elder Sira hesitated, but saw the resolve in Ava's eyes. "If the wind has chosen you, then trust it. But be careful, my child. The desert is unforgiving." Ava set off under the moonlight, her only companion, the whispering wind. It nudged her gently, as if pointing her in the right direction. She followed its guidance, weaving through towering dunes and rocky outcrops. Hours passed, and Ava's confidence grew. The wind seemed to sense her thoughts. Finally, as the first rays of dawn painted the sky, Ava spotted the caravan. The travelers were huddled around a dwindling fire, their faces weary and their supplies nearly gone. "You found us?" one of them exclaimed as Ava approached. "The wind led me to you," Ava said simply. The caravan leader, a gruff man named Farid, was skeptical of Ava's abilities. "We've been wandering for days. How can a girl lead us back to safety?" Ava stood tall. "Trust me, the wind will guide us." Reluctantly, the caravan followed her. The journey back to Zephyr's Rest was fraught with challenges. At one point, a fierce sandstorm arose, threatening to scatter the caravan. Farid yelled for everyone to take cover, but Ava stood still. Her eyes closed as she felt the wind's chaotic dance. "This way," she shouted, leading them to a sheltered ravine where they waited out the storm. When the storm passed, Farid approached Ava, his expression softened. I don't know how you do it, but thank you. Back at Zephyr's Rest, Ava was hailed as a hero. The villagers marveled at her ability to navigate the desert, and even Elder Sira seemed impressed. But Ava couldn't shake a feeling of unease. The wind, which had been her constant guide, now carried a note of urgency. It seemed to warn of a great danger looming over the desert. That night, Ava dreamed of a vast wall of sand sweeping across the dunes, engulfing everything in its path. She woke with a start and ran to her grandmother. A sandstorm is coming, Ava said. A terrible one. Elder Sira nodded gravely. We must prepare. If your dream is true, this could be the worst storm the desert has seen in years. With Elder Sira's support, Ava helped the villagers fortify their homes. As the days passed, the wind grew stronger and the air became heavy with anticipation. Ava stayed vigilant, listening for any sign of the storm's approach. Finally, it came. A monstrous wall of sand stretching across the horizon, moving with terrifying speed. As the storm bore down on Zephyr's Rest, Ava led the villagers to safety in a series of caves near the oasis. The wind roared around them, shaking the ground and filling the air with grit. Inside the caves, Ava remained calm, reassuring the frightened villagers. The wind brought us here. It won't abandon us now, she said. When the storm finally passed, the village emerged to find their homes battered but intact. The wind, it seemed, had shifted the storm's path just enough to spare them from the worst of its wrath. In the days that followed, Ava became a symbol of hope for the village. Travelers from across the desert came to Zephyr's Rest, drawn by tales of the girl who could speak to the wind. Elder Sira took Ava aside one evening and handed her a small, ornate pendant shaped like a swirling breeze. This is a windcaller's charm, Sira said. It's a symbol of your bond with the wind. Ava accepted the charm with a smile, feeling a deep sense of purpose. Years later, Ava's name was spoken in awe throughout the Sunfire Desert. She became known as the desert's guardian, a protector of travelers and a beacon of hope in the harshest of landscapes. But to Ava, she was simply a girl who had learned to listen, to the wind, to her heart, and to the world around her. And every time the wind whispered in her ear, she smiled, ready for her next adventure. If you like our stories, please like, subscribe, and turn on the little bell, so you won't miss exciting stories every day. You are also welcome to share it with family and friends to listen to the story together. Love you.